This video has been funded in part by the Guild via Patreon. Check out the links in the description or at the end of this video for more details. Game provided by Idea Factory.
Hello everybody, my name is Chris Gildart, and welcome back to another Pros vs. Cons mini-review. We have had The Avengers, we have had Warriors-Otachi, we have had Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, all of these being massive crossover titles, but nothing compares to the hype that I felt when I found out that these two fan service-filled franchises would be coming together. My first experience with Senran Kagura was on the Vita in the form of Shinobi Versus. I didn't play a whole lot of it because I'm just not big on handheld gaming, but when Estival Versus came out on PS4, I picked that up and platinumed it in no time flat. It quickly became one of my top franchises to keep an eye on. Then there's Hyperdimension Neptunia, the franchise where the one thing that's more impressive than its name is its fourth wall breaking humor. My first experience with the franchise wasn't actually any of the mainline JRPGs. In fact, it was one of the hack and slash spin-offs, Action Unleashed, also on the Vita. That was another quick platinum for me. Both the Neptunia and Senran Kagura franchises have become staples of my collection. I even own the Senran Kagura anime on Blu-ray. The fact that these two IPs have come together to create a wondrous hack and slash title is spectacular to me. Yes, I was hyped for some of the other games I talked about throughout the year, but Neptunia Cross Senran Kagura Ninja Wars was up there as one of my most hyped games of 2021. So I know what you're all thinking. How does this game stack up? Well, before we get into that, don't forget to give this video a like, comment with your thoughts below, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. Now it's time to find out if Ninja Wars is truly worthy of both the Neptunia name and the Senran Kagura one. Alright, ready, set, pros! It's no doubt that the first thing you're going to notice is how good this game looks. Hey, eyes up here! When I started the first stage, I was pleasantly surprised by how well this game ran on my base PS4. I was honestly expecting to only get 30 frames per second and some textures and lighting that could have been better, but doable for this generation. But I don't feel like this game needs any sort of boost in its graphics. The character models look great, and I love the new outfits for all of the Neptunia characters. Seeing Neptune, Noir, Blanc, and Vert in ninja-style costumes is pretty cool, but they also gave Histoire, Compa, and IF traditional Japanese outfits. The 2D art style is so well done too. I love the way the Senran Kagura girls look in this style. We usually see their 3D models in these sort of conversations, so it's nice to see what they would look like if they were 2D. But you didn't come to Neptunia Cross Senran Kagura Ninja Wars just for its looks. I mean, maybe it did, but I imagine most of you are wondering how it plays. It feels exactly like you'd expect from any hack and slash game. If you're a regular to this channel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Button mashing action with a sprinkle of style and strategy to really bring out the fun during combat. You have your normal attack, a ranged attack that can either be a shuriken or a kunai, which can either damage enemies or inflict a status ailment. There are also special skills that can be activated by holding down L1 and pressing one of the face buttons. You also have a dash and a guard to help on the defensive side of things. Your special skills and dash will drain your stamina bar when used, but by guarding against incoming attacks and dealing damage to enemies, you can recover more. It can take some getting used to because usually guarding drains stamina as well. On top of that, you can't cancel out of your combos by dashing like in most other hack and slash games. You'll need to get used to using guard instead, which if timed right can block even more damage and recover even more stamina. You will be able to take two characters into a stage and are able to switch them on the fly. If you switch mid-combo, your other character will attack as you switch to them. On top of solid gameplay and great visuals, the game's story feels straight out of an anime. I could definitely picture this story and these characters being in an anime instead of a game. The character interactions feel genuine and no one's personality feels off. If you're familiar with either IP, you'll feel right at home here. In fact, if you're familiar with the Neptunia series and its special brand of humor, this game brings that in spades. I actually found myself laughing out loud at some parts. It wasn't just a light puff of air coming out of my nose, it was real laughter. Ninja Wars also has an awesome soundtrack to keep the blood flowing and the buttons mashing. An awesome mix of distorted rock guitars, synthesized keyboards, and traditional Japanese instruments will fill your ears and dig deep into them. You probably already hear some of the samples of the music in the background of this review, but I would highly recommend that you check this soundtrack out if you get the chance. I also found that there was a lot to do in my time spent so far with this game. I've pumped a little over 5 hours into it, and I've already unlocked free roaming in story stages where you can find a variety of enemies and chests to unlock. There's also side quests that can be found in the Kumotsu Shrine. These act more like challenge stages than side quests though. Once you select one that you want to complete, it takes you directly into that stage. But these are usually long enough to keep you from getting bored. It's not just one small area of the map with a handful of monsters to deal with. It's usually the whole map that you need to explore and find the specified monsters to kill. Then there's the Peaches and Cream meditation mini game, which actually uses motion control in a neat way. I played this on the PS4 and really enjoyed this. If you do this meditation, you'll gain a buff to the characters you complete it with for the next stage. It honestly feels like there's always going to be something to do in this game, but that's all the pros that I have so far. Now it's time for the wrath of the cons! One of the first things that hit me while playing this game was the size of the stages. For Senran Kagura, these are ever so slightly bigger than the usual arenas that you might find yourself in. But as a hack and slash veteran, I feel like they could be a little bit bigger. Really give me something to work with and explore. I don't feel like I'm too deep into the story right now, so larger stages could be coming. But I feel like after I've finished the story stage, I might be missing 1 or 2 chests, and I can usually grab those while doing one of the Kumotsu stages. There's nothing here that makes me want to go in the free roam stages. I mean, it's called Ninja Wars. Make me feel like I'm on a battlefield. I'll also mention something that I spoke about in the mini review of Neptunia Virtual Stars, and that's a lack of an English dub. When it comes to Senran Kagura characters, I am fine with this fact because we've never had an English dub outside of the anime. But with Neptunia, it's a little disheartening that the last 2 releases for this IP don't have that option. Similar to Virtual Stars and the VTubers, I imagine it has something to do with the fact that we don't have dedicated English voices for the Senran Kagura characters. But I honestly don't think that's a good enough reason for them to omit a dub altogether. To me, and I imagine a lot of fans of Neptunia, the English voice cast is iconic. Even though I'm hearing the Japanese voices in this game, my brain is reading the lines in their English voices. The last thing that really disappointed me was the character roster. With Neptunia and Senran Kagura coming together like this, you would think that they would bring some fan favorites to the table, which they do, don't get me wrong. We have the 4 goddesses Neptune, Noir, Blanc, and Vert. We also have the 4 leaders of each school from the Senran Kagura series, Asuka, Homura, Miyabi, and Yumi. But that's it from either franchise. It feels very lacking considering how character-centric both games are. From Senran Kagura, it's weird to see these 4 not only working together so easily, but without their usual friends by their side. That being said, I can kind of understand not wanting to put all of the characters into that game. Even if you stack the fan-favorite Neptunia characters into the roster, you're likely going to be weighted heavily in the Senran Kagura side. But what's really disappointing is the lack of these sister CPUs, Nepgear, Uni, Ram, and Rom. It would have also been cool to see the other characters that appeared in Neptunia hack and slash games like Uzume, Plutia, Tamsoft, Dengekiko, Famitsu, and Pishi. You could have even limited to only include the Hanzo School and Crimson Squad from Senran Kagura, then add the CPU candidates Pishi and Plutia. That would have leveled the playing field on both games while also giving us a decent roster. I would even pay for DLC of the missing Gessen and Hebijo schools from Senran Kagura, as well as Uzume, Tamsoft, Dengekiko, and Famitsu. At least we still have the previous games of both franchises to lean on if we want to play as those characters. In the end, Neptunia Cross Senran Kagura Ninja Wars was a fun time for what I played. From the beginning of booting this game up, I knew I would be jumping into a good time. Like I said in the pros, entering that first stage and seeing just how well the game runs on the base PS4 was great. I waited what feels like forever from the announcement of this game until now to be able to play this, and that's why Neptunia Cross Senran Kagura Ninja Wars gets a thumbs up from me. Plain and simple, I had a lot of fun with this game. There is no doubt in my mind that I'll be aiming for the Platinum Trophy. The combat is solid and keeps me going from stage to stage without getting bored. The story is very enjoyable with the exact sense of humor I've grown to love from both franchises. Just the fact that I audibly laughed multiple times makes me want to continue and see what else this game has to offer. Even though the game maps are smaller than what I'd want out of my hack and slash game, they never felt too short to play. And as much as I would have liked to see an English dub and the other characters I mentioned join the roster, I understand why these things are the way that they are. Maybe we'll see some DLC in the future, but I do doubt it. What we have right now is just great fun, and that's all I need. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for watching my mini review of Neptunia Cross Senran Kagura Ninja Wars. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe for more. Also, leave a comment with your thoughts on the video as well as the game, and let me know which of the Neptunia and Senran Kagura games was your first. If you'd like to help support this channel and what I do here, you can join the guild just like these awesome people that you're seeing on screen right now. You can join them at the end of every single video for just $1 a month. There's other rewards and other tiers as well, so check out the links that you see on screen, and I will see you all down in the comments.